Hey, hey, hey,
Hey,
hey, hey, hey.
hello.
Good evening, good evening. Let's turn this
Good
music down.
evening. Good evening.
Sounds good, sounds good.
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining in. You are right
Alrighty.
on time for Healed for Real. Um, I'm Marcus Dyson.
And I'm Vanessa Bailey. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, what's up? So glad y'all joined us tonight. We're ready for a some good conversation tonight. I gotta remember to look at the camera. I keep
I know,
forgetting.
right?
Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Drop some comments. Let us know where you're watching from. We want to hear from y'all tonight. And don't sit back and be a wallflower.
Yes.
Drop some comments. Let us know where you're watching from.
Yes.
Put them questions in there because we want to hear from y'all. All
Yes. We
right.
don't want to be selfish tonight. We want to hear from you guys. We want you guys to join our discussion tonight. So, yes, drop some hearts, but also share, share, share. I know somebody who may need to hear something tonight. So, share. Don't be
Hey,
selfish. Don't keep it to yourself.
Vanessa, why don't you talk a little bit about what Heal for Real is? What's it all about?
Woo, heal for real. So, I just thought about, just being in this pandemic. Oh my God, it's been so much that's going on and so much
Yeah.
that's has taken place and just even over the years. And the thought of heal for real just came from actually like listening to other conversations with people, getting phone calls from people about what they're going through, my own
Mhm.
personal experiences, and just like itself. And I realized that, that a lot of people are walking around not healed, thinking they are healed. And it's a lot of stuff that has been swept under the rug and hasn't been dealt with. And so pretty much we heal for fake. And I
Right.
think I think the Lord really wants us to be really healed for real. It's hard to like minister and deal with people when we have so much baggage of our own, so much that we're dealing with ourselves, and we're not healed completely. And I believe that God really wants us whole and completely healed. And so I think we need to be healed for real, not for
I
fake,
agree.
not for
Right.
phony, not wearing
Right.
masks,
Right.
not yeah, wearing masks and stuff like that. I think we should
Right.
really own it, own what we're going through, own our issues, own our
Yeah.
what we're dealing with, and really get healed for real.
Right.
Mhm.
And being healed is important, man, because the saying goes, hurt people.
And that's
And
true.
I'm not saying it because it's a cliche. I'm saying it because it's real. If we're not healed ourselves, then we end up connecting with other people and end up hurting them,
Yep.
and then we wonder why we leave a trail of bodies. Oh my God.
Woo! The
The
trail of
trail of
life.
bodies in our life,
Woo!
like it's
Yes.
crazy. We have a
Yes.
special guest tonight that's going to join us, Dr. Troy T. Johnson. He's in the back, he's backstage right now, but we're going to bring him on in just a couple minutes. We
Yes.
definitely want to hear your comments and your questions. Where are you watching from?
Yes.
Tag a
Let's
friend.
see.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know where you're watching
Hey,
from.
let us
What
know where
city are
you're
you
watching
in?
from. What
What city are you
city,
in? Tag
state?
somebody. Tag
Yes.
somebody, tell somebody, send it, share this, start a watch party. But
Yes.
definitely
Start
drop
some
some
watch
comments.
parties. And we
Right,
want to hear from you. So if there's anything like being said or when you hear Dr. Troy come on, if you have questions or comments, feel free to write it in the chat. We can see it. And we'll try to get
absolutely.
back to get back to you guys. So yeah, while we're getting
You want to
prepared.
you want to introduce our guest?
Yes, so
Okay.
Pastor Dr. Troy Johnson is amazing. He is the pastor of the Fresh Start Church in Houston, Texas. But I met him last year, I think around September last year, and at a conference that I went to last year. And oh my God, he was so amazing. And he is a real doctor. like degreed up doctor, like didn't pay for it for $20 online, but like real doctor. He's the real deal. So we want to bring him on. He is awesome. He is down to earth, but he is here to help us today. So yeah, let's bring him on, Pastor Dr. Troy Johnson.
How we doing?
Hey,
We're
how are
good.
you?
I'm good. Just came out of Bible study. We are doing wonderful. No complaints whatsoever. Excited
Amazing.
about this night. Always excited about doing things of this nature. I'm just grateful. Is what I am. I'm grateful to be in this process with us and doing what needs to be done. I believe in helping people heal.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I was just telling Marcus last year when I when I came to the conference last year here in
Uh-huh.
San Francisco, and you were teaching one of the classrooms. It was for me, you didn't know what you was dealing with, but for me, I came in that conference like feeling like super empty, honestly, like empty. I felt like I had poured and poured and poured and done so much for everybody, and I was blaming them. And when you Pastor Troy did a class on that Friday night, and he was like, if you're bold enough to get in this chair in front of everybody, then let's do it. And so I was like, try me. Try me. And I remember sitting in that chair that night. And I remember saying, like, I was going through these things where certain friendships and stuff, and they used me. And Pat, he was like, no, we're going to stop it right there. He was like, no, they didn't use you. Take your power back. You allowed them. But
Right.
one thing that said with me that has stuck with me for a whole year was when you asked me, he was like, who told you to do all that stuff? Like, nobody told you to do it. He was like, I want you to go home, write yourself a letter, and fire yourself from doing all that. And let me tell you, I went home, I fired myself, and this year I've been free. Woo!
Because we don't can fire us.
Yes. I was free.
Say that again. We don't what?
We are the only ones that can fire us. We're the only ones that hired us.
Right.
We assume that other people did. They didn't hire you for that.
No.
Right.
You saw opening and interviewed yourself.
See?
He already started.
I'm like, see? And it's true. It's true.
And took a job nobody wanted.
And listen, I don't even want it. And I think that's where he got to.
You ready? And you didn't even discuss pay. You just started work.
Oh.
And just started work.
Yeah.
Where's my
Just started
notebook?
work.
You don't know what you don't know.
No, we're going to go back
know what
around.
the perks are. You don't know if you're getting time and a half. You don't know if you're getting insurance. You don't know none of that. The only thing you're getting is a headache and frustration.
And that's
Well, you know what's interesting, Dr. Troy, is that we don't even discuss that when we get into these situations.
That's
we don't even. That's not even
value.
Right.
Wow.
At this stage of my life, even when I'm working a secular job, they call it an interview, but they don't realize I'm interviewing them. This might not be a fit for me.
Come on. I might want to turn it down.
Right.
I might want to return down because what you're requiring of me, I don't have.
Right.
I don't have. Ooh.
You ready for this? And some of what I don't have, I don't want to get.
Huh?
So no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I don't want to learn how to repair ovens. It's not what I do. I'm a cook.
No.
So if you want somebody to repair ovens too, I'm not the one for this job.
Right.
Well, I still firing myself. I honestly, this year, I said, you know what? The answer is no to everything that I don't want to do.
No, it'll save your life.
And it did. The way that I felt last year is not this year.
And anybody that can't handle your no is not should not have a yes from you. If you can't handle my no,
very good.
If you can't handle sometimes I test relationships by telling people no.
Yeah.
If you can handle my no, then you have a right to my yes. If you can't handle my no, then you don't have a right to my yes. I'll test them. I'll tell you no just to tell you no, to see how you handle it. It will tell me the kind of boundaries I need to draw in this relationship and how far we will go. And we might not go but to the corner.
Well, there you have it.
With you.
Well, there you have it. So it's okay to say no, because it will save your life.
Sometimes it's mandatory.
Yeah.
Right. It's necessary to say no.
Yes.
Or I have to if I want to stay alive, and you want to stay alive, because
Right about it.
yeah.
Woo, Lord. Woo. Well, I
Y'all,
know
you all
them.
are watching
Woo.
Healed for Real. We
Yes.
are here with Dr. Troy Johnson and your host Vanessa Bailey. I'm the co-host Marcus Dyson. We're here. We want to just have conversations about many different things that we don't normally talk about. We don't normally get to have these type of conversations about mental health,
Right.
relationships, unhealthy relationships. What else? What
We
other
were
things
talking
we talking
about
about?
these emotional attachments. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
this
Trauma and all that
year,
kind of stuff.
trauma, all that stuff, and it's always like directed to people. Something that
Mhm.
happened. It's
Mhm.
people. But even with the emotional trauma, like this year alone, I mean, so many people have carried so much so long. And Pastor Troy, with Dr. Troy, I was looking up like the stages of healing and things
Hmm.
that take place. And I had looked up when it comes to the stages of healing, when it comes to a wound, I had recognized like the first stage, the first step was to heal was to stop the bleeding. And I realized that so many of us have been emotionally bleeding on other people.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
why we have not really been healed. We still have this stuff. We have trauma, things that happened to us in our childhood, and even and as an adult, and we're bleeding. And a lot of us think we really are healed. We really think that we're okay, and we're really not.
Mm.
People who are working in the medical field who deal with wounds and trauma know how to cauterize a wound. We don't.
Mm. What do you
We
mean
don't know how to
colorize a room? What do you mean when you say that?
stop it from bleeding. They know how
Yeah.
to watch this. They know that you have to put undue pressure on a bleeding wound to stop it.
Mm.
Many times we don't want the undue pressure.
Whew.
Mm.
No,
Mm.
We don't
no,
want the
not at all.
responsibility of tying it off, because here's the thing. When you tie off a bleeding wound, it hurts.
Whew. Whew.
Emotionally detaching hurts. And the
You
reason why
do.
emotional detachment hurt is because most of the time the thing that you've attached to, you convinced yourself that you need.
Yes. It starts to get addictive.
It is
That's
addictive.
so true.
It gets addictive. Yeah.
And you're trying to fill a hole in your own space, and
Mm.
you got bleeding holes everywhere. You can't fill it.
Wow.
My
You're
God.
struggling because you haven't noticed, you have not realized what you need in the person.
Yeah.
The irony is sometimes what you need in the person doesn't have.
My God.
Right.
Hey.
And
Right.
you keep trying
That's
to
so
give the
true.
person the benefit of the doubt. Don't give me the benefit of the doubt about fixing your car. I'm not a mechanic.
Right.
Right. Right.
So we've put
Right.
I'm
people in positions that they're not even qualified for, but then getting mad at them when they can't like execute that position.
No, because you create a narrative. You assume that because you saw me at the gas station putting gas in my car, that made me a mechanic. And so you created a
Wow.
narrative that if he can put gas in the car, then he must be able
Then he
to
must be
be
a
able to repair a car. And so now
right.
you're
Right.
mad
Right.
at me when I came to your house and you asked me to repair your car with an ice pick and a hammer.
So
You,
those with emotional attachments, are you saying like they already have a void there, that there's already something missing there for them to
yeah.
be attached? Okay.
Most of us are attached to an idea.
Mm.
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 We
Mm.
created this idea in our head, and so it's like me. It's like we do sometimes. We see somebody pass by in a Rolls Royce. We say, "Ooh, they got money." No, they the driver.
Right.
Right.
We don't know who car that is.
And
I
they
don't know
might not
what
even
it is.
own the car. Come
You
They
know,
don't own
on.
the car. And watch this.
Right.
And to go further, and the one who owns it is struggling to keep up an image, to portray something for other people because of what they think of him.
Mm. Mm.
so So what do we need to get over these emotional attachments? And once, like, I know we have to recognize, because I don't really think that some people know it could be emotional attachment.
Mm. You don't get over it. You work through it.
You don't get over it. You don't.
You gotta know how sometimes to be in love with person, but leave them alone.
Wait.
Wait,
Say that.
say that,
Say that.
say that again.
No.
You gotta
Say
know
it
how
like.
sometimes to be in love with a person, but leave them alone.
Hmm.
Be in love with a person, believe
But
them.
leave them alone. They ain't no good for you. You're in love with them, but they ain't no good for you.
Mm.
Or I do love you, but we can't be together. I have clients write goodbye letters in addiction to, like, have a client write a goodbye letter to crack, and it says very clearly, I want you to know that I love you. We've been friends for a long time. Matter of fact, we've been friends for the last 15 years, but we ain't no good together.
Toxic.
So ain't no sense of us continuing a relationship. I hate to leave you because you've been in most of the places where I've been at the bottom. But for you, for my sake, I have to leave you alone. I love you. Goodbye.
So then comes the question: why do we hold on to this stuff when we know outright it's hurting us, it's tearing us up, it's no good?
Because it costs to go somewhere else.
It costs to go somewhere else. Can you break that down?
It costs to rebuild another relationship. I put so much into this one, I don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
And so now I got to go to another relationship that is going to cost me to build it.
Right.
And you got to be phony all over again. You know, somebody, you got to put this mask on for like the first 6 months.
Yeah.
You got to do that all over again.
I like science fiction, but it ain't real.
Right. And you know what I also noticed?
Avatar is not real.
Yeah, you know what also costs something is to be alone too.
Yeah, the assumption that you are alone. And sometimes alone is the best thing to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some people never been alone before, so that can be scary.
You're alone for 9 months in the womb, and you're just comfortable and protected and not bothered. That's why you fought to come here, because you
don't remember that. We don't even remember that.
We don't remember that, and so we don't know how to. I don't like the word alone. I like the word we don't know how to be with ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
We like the sound of other people's voice.
That is true. That is true.
Validates within us who we are.
And so that's why we need to have our self-esteem where it needs to be, our self-confidence where it needs to be, so we won't have to be leaning and depending on somebody else to give us that validation.
And I do singles conferences. I said to singles in the single conference, I said, if you don't remember anything I say tonight, remember this. This is the only thing you got to remember. I'll be with you 3 days, I told the group. But I don't need you to remember one thing. They say, what is that? I say, 1 is a whole number.
It's a whole number. It's a whole number.
It is.
Mathematically, it lacks nothing.
Complete.
But we've convinced ourselves that we need something else to complete us. So then what you get 2 halves trying to get together, and we don't realize that 2 halves together don't equal a whole. It equals 2 halves.
Right.
But you know what I realized, Dr. Troy? I realized that a lot of us, like even us, a lot of us got married so young. So a lot of us was married. I'm finna be about to be 37. I got married when I was 24, but a lot of us got married so young where we really didn't even know ourselves. We didn't know who we were. We didn't know, we could even been with that person for a few years and thought we knew that person. But, as you grow and as you evolve, things change over time. And so,
and we don't
you become a different person.
Right. And the fear is that sometimes we don't let each other grow. So you get couples in my office say to me, see, the reason why we having trouble because she ain't the woman I married 20 years ago. I said, well, thank God for that, because if she is, she's special. She shouldn't be the same person you married 20 years ago. But we don't allow people to grow and evolve outside of our box.
Our view of what we think they should be.
Our view of what we think they should be. And when they defy what we think and what we feel, we fight them. It's like in relationships when people take everything personal. Everything is not personal. In relationships, one of the things I always say in relationships, figuring out stuff is overrated.
It's
so overrated. If you like for me to rub your feet, then rub them. You don't have to understand why rubbing them makes you feel good. That's ego-centered.
Right.
Just rub my feet.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I may not know why it makes me feel good, but I know it makes me feel good. So just rub my feet. Stop asking me why you like me rubbing your feet. What is it about rubbing your feet? I bought your house and 12 cars. Well, I don't want none of that. I want my feet rubbed.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. And I think that's why we need to understand in our love languages. Is it okay to have love languages outside of marriage? Because I think is that kind of...
Yeah, because the different love language for friendships and different love language for intimacy and relationship, the love language is different. The
Right.
problem is that when we don't have no boundaries and the love language is the same for all. You can't love
Whoa.
your friend like you love
Wait,
your
wait.
spouse.
Say that again.
The love language is not the same in every situation. My love language for my friends ain't the same love language for my spouse. The problem is we think the love language is the same across paradigms. It's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's not. And a
Yeah.
lot of us have to learn that through experience.
And you
Yeah.
have to
You know
learn love
that.
language. Love language comes from you knowing what I require.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
And I think it's important. Well, not that I think it's important, but I was thinking about as you were saying that why a lot of times some people in relationships they get jealous of people who have friends and you know you can get that from me. Well, no, what I need from you is there. But
Right.
Don't
what I
marry
need from my
nobody and you
friends
their
is
only
something else.
friend.
Right.
Don't
That's
marry
weird.
nobody and you their only friend. If you get with somebody and you their only friend, leave them. Run fast as you can.
Run.
Don't marry-
Yeah, that's
Sinead
weird.
Collins said,
only
"Oh, we
can
know the
survive
language,
with
but
you.
don't respond to it."
Oh yeah, she said we know
Yeah,
the
that's
language, we don't respond to it. Woo.
yeah, that's one of my therapists at church. That's one of my members that said that. That's another therapist. Yeah, correct. That's my daughter
Yeah.
right there talking. Yes, correct.
So is that because they just don't want to put the energy into doing it, or they just don't want to do it at all? They just don't care.
Both.
Mm.
Sometimes they don't care, and sometimes they won't put the energy in it. You ought to appreciate how I love you. No, I shouldn't. I don't require that. The last chick you had required that, not me.
Oh, okay.
Get to know what I require.
Yeah.
Don't wrap me in the package of somebody else. Well, they like when I painted their toes. Well, why y'all not still together? If she loved
So
it that much, y'all ought to be still together. You ought to be painting toes. I don't require my toes to be painted.
that's the problem that I'm having, because it feels like, okay, are emotional attachments the same as toxic relationships? Like, are they okay to be emotional attachments?
No, you can have healthy emotional attachments.
Okay, healthy
All of
emotional.
them are not toxic. I have healthy emotional attachment with my grandchildren and my son and my daughter and my member. Those are healthy emotional attachments.
Mhm.
So what does one look?
Emotional attachment becomes toxic when you
Right.
can't survive without the person, and that you assign them to meet needs in your life that you ought to be meeting yourself.
That's
Oh.
good. That's rich right
Oh,
there.
wow.
That's rich.
You think I ever get married? I don't like being by myself. No, if you don't like being with you, who else would?
Ooh,
Come on, help the
shoot.
people.
When you
How
get
you
to
want
a
somebody
point
to
where
marry? How you want somebody to love or marry what you don't like?
Ooh,
Why you
come
gonna
on.
commit me to love you and you don't love you?
that's
Right.
deep.
And
That's
watch
Right.
this. You ready for that? And I don't trust anybody's love for me if they don't have it for themselves. If you quit on
Right.
you, you're gonna quit on me.
Right.
wow.
That's real.
That's true.
Don't
But
trust you.
that's crazy. So we really have it's really some good men and women out there who try to, like, they get with individuals who don't love themselves, who don't know their self-worth, and they try to birth them into loving themselves and like
You
really
cannot,
staying there.
you
That's
cannot love people well.
What?
You cannot love people well. You can love them, but you can't love them well.
you can't love them like to be healed well, to get
Mm-mm.
well.
Oh,
You can't love
okay.
them.
Many of us,
I
many of
got
us stay with people too long.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know why I'm with them? Why you with them? Because I see their potential. I say, but they don't. I ain't got time to be waiting around with you till you see your potential.
you.
But see, and so this is my issue. And God knows I love the church. I do. But one of the reasons I hear people, we don't get a divorce because God hates divorce. And it's like, it's so many people who are sitting in marriages and relationships
God
waiting.
hates, God, and the scripture is correct. God hates divorce. He hates misery too.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't think he was okay with somebody just being at home miserable
He
day and
hates
night.
misery too.
Yeah.
You know, the
Wow.
equation is love your wife or your husband like God loved the church. If they ain't
Right.
exemplifying that kind of love, something you got to figure out something.
You got to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
all are watching Healed for Real.
Woo! Somebody gonna
And
get healed tonight.
somebody, look at Shanice, come on.
Wow.
Talk
If they're not
good
love
now.
you like Christ loved the church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen. This the other thing is, one of the reasons why we struggle so much and we hang with people too long is because we're not all right with people who don't want to be all right.
What? We
We're not all
wow.
right with
You're
people.
not going to be all right. You know, I said to some young therapists, was talking to them and doing some training, and they said, "What's the hardest part about? What's going to be one of the hardest parts about what we do?" I say, "You good Christians?" I always do that. They say, "Yeah." I say, "Y'all got to learn to be all right with people who don't want to be all right."
Yeah.
You don't want to
Yeah.
be well? That's okay with me, but make sure you pay the lady on your way outside the door. Pay her.
Right.
Pay her.
Right.
And if you choose to
To
stay sick,
stay. Come on.
Stay sick.
then guess what? I'm all right with you choosing
You
to stay
choosing
sick.
that. Yes.
That's a choice.
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
going to keep fighting you and dragging you up the hill to be well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then you wind
Yeah.
up sacrificing so much of yourself. And the
Right.
statement and the truth of the matter is, and this has been said, and I've heard it said before, when you give other people what you need for yourself, you make them a thief.
Oh.
We taught people how to steal from us.
Oh my God.
I just was like punched right here.
Look back at your own life.
True.
Look back at your own life and think about the amount of people you've taught to steal from you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You have been
continuously.
the answer to everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've
That's
been the
deep.
show up. You've been the rescue person. You've been jumping into the pool. You've been doing all that. And I forget one time I'd been preaching all over the country. I'd been preaching for about 8 weeks. I was worn out. I was tired. One of my sons called me and said to me, "Pops," I said, "Yeah, my revivalists didn't show up." I said, "I'm going to pray for you that your revivalists show up." Well, I was seeing if you would come. I ain't coming.
Hmm.
What you doing? Nothing.
Nothing. And I ain't coming still.
Then you can come. I didn't never said I couldn't come. I said I'm not coming.
You're not coming. Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna sit right here on my recliner and I'm gonna watch Fred Sanford like it's got new episodes.
Wow. Wow.
Dr. Troy, how do we stop letting thieves steal from us?
Just you ready? That's a tough answer. You stop.
Mhm.
You stop.
You stop. You say no.
Yeah.
So what I did. Okay.
Yeah, you say no. No.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
Well, it's not gonna hurt you. It's not. I used to say all the time, I just can't put up with this no more. I'm lying. I can. I choose not to.
I just choose not
I'm not doing
Right.
that no more.
to. Right.
You should
Right. I
have called me on
can. I
Monday
choose
because
not to.
Tuesday I changed. You missed your
Yeah.
window of opportunity. No, I'm not doing that.
Wow. You just stop.
You
And I
know,
know that's
because that's about the listen, I tell people all the time, I tell this all the time, stop breaking relationships, just draw new boundaries. And focus.
right.
Hmm.
Right.
I don't break relationships, I
That
draw
is the
boundaries.
truth. That's the truth. I've
And some
experienced
folks
that.
who can't handle my new boundaries leave because I do not draw boundaries for your consent. I draw them for my sanity.
From my sanity.
I don't need your
Wow.
approval of the boundaries that I draw. I just draw them.
Right. And they'll get rid of themselves.
They'll get rid of themselves. Because then that's when you realize they were there because they needed you. You were the person that helped them and all this stuff. They are the same people, people who can't accept your no's. Them are the same exact people.
My people know. Don't call me at no 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't do nothing at 1. I ain't doing nothing at 1 o'clock in the morning. Don't call me at 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's a ministry in the no. It is a ministry in the no.
It'll bless you. And then the problem comes that when you learn to say no, then you say no all the time. People say good morning, you say no. You say, wait a minute, they didn't even ask me nothing. Let me wait a little while, see if they're gonna ask
They
me.
didn't even ask this time because they already know she gonna say no.
There's freedom in it. There's freedom in it. So what you do is when you say no, you collect yourself from all the places you left you. You pull your pieces back together.
Yes. And you
People,
know what, Dr.
people are
Troy?
holding on to pieces of you
You helping me.
at their disposal. And when
Yeah.
you learn to say no, what you're doing is you're collecting your pieces from all the places you left them.
My God,
Yes.
today.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Oh, I got to drive around and get some pieces.
Oh yeah.
I used to think that by me just not okay, so like for example, you said that tell them no. So what maybe somebody's in this same situation. I used to think if somebody texts me and they ask for something, then I just don't respond.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh no,
what you're
respond
saying now is I need to say no
No.
instead of just not responding,
Responding.
right?
without
They're
a
gonna come back to you.
qualifier. And without a qualifier. See, the
Right.
reason I'm telling you no is because see, my cousin, mama, sister, dog died, and
Right.
I got to be no, just no,
Yeah.
Just no.
no
Yeah.
No, we
qualifier.
say in
It's a no.
2021, no more excuses. It's just no. No is a
It's
complete answer.
and answer your phone like I do with bill collectors when they
Yeah.
call the
Yeah.
house. I don't have no money. Where's your bill? I know that for you call. You must knew that for the phone rang.
Oh
I
my
have no money not
God.
today. I'll have some next week.
No is a
Well, I
complete
think you ought to do so
answer.
and so. All right. You can talk as long as you want to, but goodbye. I'm
And
gone.
Shanice says you need to say no without an explanation. No
Without
more
an
Yeah.
explanation.
explanation.
My no requires no explanation.
No explanation. Me too, Athena. It's hard for me too. It's hard for me too.
And when you say no with the explanation, you ready? It says that you're still subservient to the person you're saying no to.
Wow.
Wait, say that one more time, please.
When you have to say no to a person with explanation, you're still subservient to the person you've said no to.
Wow.
Wow.
You
So
still
they know they can come back another time later on with
Yep,
something
they're gonna
else.
try you again.
Yeah.
they've
They're gonna
learned
try
your
you again.
triggers. They've
Yeah.
learned your triggers.
Testing them waters just to see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
I had
he
a
said no
godson
this
that
time
used
because he had a bill, but next
right,
week I'm gonna ask him
right.
again.
Listen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's like I had a godson who used to scream and holler. That's all he did. He was 1 year old, just screamed and hollered. I told his mom, "You're gonna drop him at my house because I'm tired of this." And he hollered for 2 hours till he fell asleep. You can't be in charge of me. You won.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't go to the bathroom on your own. You can't. How you gonna be in charge of me? How do we have people in charge of us and they broken?
Broken leading the broken.
Broken leave the broken. And broken people break things because the only thing they know how to manage is pieces.
Pieces.
Wow.
So they test stuff up over and over again. And they break you up so they can manage you to make you walk in guilt in order to feel as if though, and if they're good Christians, is what would Jesus do? I said to somebody before when they said to me, what would Jesus do? I said, Jesus would probably do A, B, C, and D. I said, but there's one problem. They said, what's that? I'm not Jesus.
Listen. Oh my gosh.
I'm
Oh
only
my
the
God.
same standard.
Yeah.
No, it's a complete no. Wow, that is a lot of broken. Yes, Tina. Yes, it's so hard. But like I said, I did it last year, and this year I've been so free. I've been enjoying myself too. I've been enjoying myself, taking flights and everything. I was by myself.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing you got to get to. When you don't tell people no, and when you don't draw boundaries with some people who you say you love, you are unfair to them. You never allow them to grow up and figure some things out on their own.
Wow.
That's unfair. And so, Tina, I want to know, what is it about you that you keep people at a level you manage them for your own narcissism?
What?
Many of us find broken people because we're narcissistic. We have a rescuer's mentality.
Yeah.
And in rescue, it validates who we are.
Ooh.
Yes, we are enablers. And we are enablers at such a level that people never grow up.
Yeah.
If I'm still tying my 34-year-old who I just showed you walking out those still tying his shoes when he walked outside, something wrong with me, and I've created a culture of brokenness in him.
That's real. To where he still needs you.
Right. And when he tries to tie him, I tell him, don't do that because you tie him the wrong way.
Right. Wow. Oh my God. Whew, shoot. So what are some of the red flags then? A lot of
I was
people,
just going to ask that.
because we get into relationships. I'm just saying we are married, but we get into relationships and sometimes we can't recognize a broken person. Sometimes we don't even know we're broken ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's several things you look at. You run from people who can't resolve stuff.
Mm.
You run from people. I mean, this is gonna sound crazy, but if you say you're in love with someone and one of the signs for love for you is that you speak to them every day and they don't call you on purpose, leave them alone. Well, I don't think I have to call you all the time. Thank you so much. It's been nice knowing you.
Thank you so much.
What I require, and you explain it to me what I don't require. You explaining to me, I explain to you what I need, and you explain to me you don't need that. So listen, that's the place where I am right now. So I'm gonna leave.
Right. I don't have to.
Most of us would have. Most of us. I'm not most of us. Many of us would have rather have a piece of something than nothing. So now you're walking around with somebody with just breath and britches. All they do is breathe. That's what my mama used to say. Breath and britches. That's it. They have no value of themselves, so they definitely can have no value of who you are.
That's real. That's real. Hey,
and they have no goals. Run.
Yeah. Yes. That's great advice. Yes.
I'm gonna go further. If you run up against somebody who have goals and no plan, run.
Right. Yeah.
Shoot.
If you run across somebody who's 53 and still want to be a rapper, run.
Y'all hear that, ladies?
There's certain things that you should be. There's certain places you ought to be at a certain maturity level.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God, that is so good. Oh my gosh.
People come to my office and say to me, "We won't get married." I said, "Why? We love each other." I said, "Oh, that's beautiful, but why you won't get married?"
Right. Because love is not enough.
Listen.
So then, Dr. Troy, the response comes. I'm just telling you what they say. Well, it's just a piece of paper anyway.
Right.
Right. So if it's just a piece of paper, why are you in my office? You don't need just a piece of paper.
Right.
You couldn't just sign my name on no paper.
Listen, you got to get a license to drive a car. I think some people have to get a license to have a dog, right? So if you can do all, you're telling me a dog is more important than me?
Listen, my daughter just said there's another one. If their FICO score is still jacked up at 40, run.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Watch this.
Run.
If you are afraid to talk about issues that I want to talk about, run.
Oh my gosh.
If you can't talk about children, if you can't talk about intimacy, if you can't talk about what marriage means to you, if you're talking about marriage already and we just been dating a month, I ain't hooking up to just be with you a month and nothing.
Right. I'm not wasting my time.
No, I'm looking for somebody to marry. And if that's not what you want, well, they don't want children and you want children. Yeah, but they nice to me. What? The postman is nice to you. Why don't you marry him?
Right.
Come
on, Mama Bailey.
People have settled. A lot of people have settled.
Yeah. Because we're in a hurry. We're in a hurry to meet a standard that's been set by other people who are miserable.
My gosh.
I said to somebody one time, I wanted to introduce you to my sister-in-law. I said, wait a minute. You want to introduce me to your sister-in-law who you already called trifling? And you say you my friend?
Right.
Say, bro, go on somewhere with the crazy.
Don't have me settling for nobody that you're not going
to. That says a lot to what they think about you.
Married to her sister. So you want me to join in your misery?
My God, that's a divorce waiting to happen already.
Yeah.
Wow, that's oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
We hook up people who do not meet up to the standard that we set. When your standard's too high, well, they're gonna be too high. I'd rather stay by myself than to bring my standard down. There's some things you compromise, but there's some things with standard you don't. I said to a young woman one time, I can't do your wedding. I don't do that often. I can't do it. Well, why is that? He loves me. He don't like his 4 sisters or the womb he came out of. He don't know how to love you.
No. Yeah.
They stayed married 9 months.
If he don't like his mama, That's scary.
Yeah.
He don't respect his mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's deep.
You could not like her, but you gotta respect her.
Yeah.
My God.
That's
Man.
right.
Whew. It's amazing how so many of us, I mean, we've gone through relationships and just experiences, and this is crazy. And don't have this information.
Because many people that we hook up with have not dealt with their past trauma. Grandson, why are you peeping? That's my grandson peeping. I'm on the special teaching. You see how I do? I got one right here. What Papa doing? Why are you on? I'm on a session teaching.
Wait, and so many people, so not just marriages, like we have people who are like in relationships, we have children by each other, live together, spend all these years together, and then you brought this brokenness into these relationships. And
one of the worst things to do is to make yourself comfortable with trauma and comfortable with pathologies that you don't have to be comfortable with. You make yourself comfortable. But that's just the way it is. Well, there's something wrong with them if they like that all the time.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You got
that is not normal. And you got to recognize there's something wrong with that. And then you wondering why you all jacked up. Because that stuff is contagious and infectious.
Man.
You're with somebody now, and you've picked up that spirit. You acting like they act. You wondering why your friends wonder what's wrong with you. Well, they don't like me because I'm happy. No, they look at you and know you on your way down a steep cliff.
And they don't want to be around it. Wow.
No.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
We how do we get on the path to getting better? What can we do to get better, to do better with relationships? And
embrace your own brokenness.
Okay.
Embrace your own brokenness.
The first thing you got to do is embrace your own brokenness. It's yours. So you figure out when you bring a car to the mechanic figure out why it's broke. What's going on? You got to do a self-diagnostic.
Okay.
You gotta be willing to admit that some of the examples that have been given to you and the stories that have been passed down to you by some of the folk that love you, they lied to you.
Yep. Absolutely.
They didn't mean to. They were trying to protect you. But you got to recognize that doesn't work for where you are. And when you begin to deal with some of that, embrace your own brokenness, and watch this, and then take responsibility for your own stuff. Everything that ever happened to me is my fault. Somebody said, well, no, it's not. It is. Because see, if it's not my fault and it's Henry's fault, then the only way I can change if it's Henry change. What if Henry liked being broken?
Right.
Then I'm locked in because Henry will not change because I'm broken.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That is so true. You making me reflect now. I'm starting to think about how no wonder I was repulsed by a certain individual who never had a job. And it was because it wasn't them. It was just the fact that I couldn't see you going anywhere for yourself. So how can I see us going somewhere? Like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Y'all probably would go somewhere, but you'd be backwardly mobile. You'd be trying to get to New Orleans going west, and you got to go east on 10. Y'all moving, but you about to wind up in California. And
you ain't going to get stuck.
Yeah, and you're stuck. You're right. And so now you're stuck in this thing. Watch this, because you're too embarrassed to leave this fool. Because people think y'all got it together.
Listen.
So you're going to keep up the facade of togetherness, and y'all don't even like each other when you get home.
Come on, say that part.
But see, don't nobody get divorced in my family. Break the trend. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
The image.
It's a lot
stay
of
together because of the image.
Come on.
And you've watched people who you love stay miserable.
Wow.
So then what you do is you follow suit and follow the patterns. That's another thing you need to look for. When you date somebody, you need to date them long enough to watch patterns.
What? Okay. I got a question for that, Dr. Troy. I'm glad you said that, Dr. Troy. So what's the length? Like, how do you date someone? Like, how long? How do you know when, like, okay, this is the one?
The
I
time,
think people
yeah.
have to, some people may disagree with this. I think people have to date at least a year.
Okay.
What you in a hurry for?
Yeah.
Even after a year, you still don't know them.
Right.
I realize you don't really learn someone until you've lived with them and for years.
But here's the other thing is, and this can sound crazy. If you're dating out there, I would say to everybody that's dating out there, you need to write down a set of questions that you will ask.
Interview.
Yeah, and watch this. Again, I'll go back to, and if you offended by my questions, then we can't be together.
Right.
See, I'm trying to show you what's of value to me.
Right.
That's real.
When it's not of value to you, then it says something major to me. You ready?
Yeah.
I broke up with somebody because they were always late on our dates.
Yes.
That makes sense.
And that makes sense.
That says what you think about me.
Right.
You late every time?
No. You own time to the game. You own time with your boys. You own time to do everything you want to do. When
you own time to work.
You know who I am.
Right.
You're late all the time. Yeah, and if they're late for everything, I still don't want to be with you. You're not on time for anything. It says to me that nothing is of value to you.
Wow.
Like everybody, so that's a narcissistic behavior trait. Can it be?
Yes, it can be. I'm not in a hurry to go nowhere. Yeah, I'm not in a hurry to go nowhere. They'll be all right.
And the other thing is this. I've noticed we date wrong, Dr. Troy. It's we date. We say we're dating one person, and we got 3 other people we talking to at the same time, and it's like, shouldn't you like focus on one at a time? Or
not if you're dating.
No.
If
you're dating.
No,
so it should go from dating to courting. Like, is that?
I'm very clear with you. I'm dating.
Okay.
That's like saying to me, I should only look at that's like saying to me that when I go buy a car, I should only look at the Honda shop.
One car.
No.
Come on.
I'm dating people, getting to know people. You may not be my selection.
Yeah.
But you know what the problem is, Dr. Troy? The issue is people are not okay with dating because they know what's going on behind them doors. Nobody's really dating or courting anymore. People are meeting each other, sleeping with each other, getting emotionally attached, and they think that this person belongs to them. So it's like dating that's the issue. The issue is not the dating, it's that you move so fast you think this person belongs to you. So now you can't go finish dating.
We're not honest. We don't tell people we're dating.
Yeah.
I'm going out with other people too.
I'm going out.
I don't want you to assume that it's just me and you, because watch this. We have not made that commitment to one another. Now, if we make the commitment that we're mutually exclusive, then that's a different thing. But listen, I met you on Tuesday. It's Thursday.
You ain't my man.
I don't even know if I like you like that.
Right.
Wow. That's crazy. So we need to be truthful. We need to ask questions. How many people you kissing on? How many people you dealing with? We need to ask questions.
Right. And you don't need to be intimate with everybody you dating. Something wrong with
That's real.
I'm like, yes. Wow.
I'm not kissing all of y'all. No.
I'm not kissing all of y'all.
we having coffee at Starbucks. This is not a kissable moment.
Yes. Right. Wow.
We're sitting down talking, casually talking to one another.
Yeah.
Have you dated someone else? Yeah, I was out last week with somebody.
Right.
But I want a true sign to it. I don't want to be with you either if you can't handle that. If Tuesday I met you on Tuesday and we mutually exclusive on Thursday, no. As we say in New Orleans, no, baby. That don't work.
No, baby. Oh my gosh.
But now let me play devil's advocate. I want to know how you kiss.
How you what?
I want to know how you kiss. I want to know if you good.
I want to know how you kiss on Tuesday. If I don't want to know how you kiss on Tuesday if I just met you.
That's the part of his interview. That's the part of his interview.
I need to find out who you kissing, what you've been kissing.
Yeah.
Your dental hygiene.
Yeah.
I won't kiss you on
Come
Tuesday.
on. That's right.
Well, see, I might have to differ because I feel like, okay, let's just say I wasn't married. if I was a single person and I am going on a date because I was asked to go on a date, and this person told me he was dating people last week and the other week, I just don't think he the one for me already.
Why
Because
not?
you got too many people in your space, you know.
Yeah, but you listen. You don't buy the first house you see.
Mm-hmm.
You don't buy the first car you see. You don't buy the first pair of dress you see. You don't buy the first pair of shoes you see. Why are we dating and marrying the first person we meet who pays attention to us?
My God.
We sometimes look for people to pay attention to us, to supply for us at a level that they can't. I don't know if you can do that yet.
Yeah.
I have been dating. You want to know who I've been dating? Sure, I'll tell you. I went out with somebody last week. I'm getting to know people. I'm going to be honest with you.
Wow.
I'm not sleeping with them. I'm getting to know people. Well, I'm offended by it. Okay, well, you have to be offended.
I think it goes back to what you said earlier, Vanessa. It's like people are dating and they're getting intimate too fast, or they're they're jumping in too fast. It's what you're doing while you're dating, I think.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely correct. And
so there must be an honesty about that. You must be honest with someone. I am dating.
Yeah. But even when you being honest, for a woman, it's you know it's different. For a man, they can do what they do.
Men operate from their egos, women operate from their emotions.
Right. So once a woman has already passed that base, you automatically she feel like
then you're not the one for me.
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
That's the truth. You're not the one. You're not the one for me.
You're not the one for me. If you got nothing, I'm scared of anybody that gets that attached to me on the first date.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's scary.
I'm gonna look out my window and you're gonna be sitting outside in your car. No,
that's scary. That's some stalker type stuff.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, like people that call you, like text you every day for like 50 times a day and calling you all the time. Where you at? Why you ain't? Yeah,
that's scary. That's very scary.
We need to be aware of that because we need to be aware of what we're dealing with.
Right. And people don't know the signs. Honestly, like I said, a lot of broken people hook up with a lot of broken people. That's,
you need to pay attention to how people talk to you, the language that they use as it relates to you, how they connect to you, all that kind of stuff you need to be aware of.
Yeah.
And you need to be, especially language. If language is just flip it and they just say what they want to say, no. You can't talk to me like that.
Lord,
and now I see why you say a year or so, because it gives you time to see their consistent behavior.
Yes.
You ready for this? This is going to sound crazy, but this is real. You need to see how they fight.
Physically fight?
Right.
No, not physically fight. You need to see how they emotionally fight.
Yes.
So if you're all together and now you mad at me, so now you don't speak to me for 2.5 weeks? No,
that's crazy. Yeah, I need somebody that's gonna stick to it.
You need to see how people fight. It's like couples when I have them. I never ask them, do they fight? I ask them, how do they fight? Couples fight. Two Martians live. A Martian and somebody from Venus living in the same house gonna fight.
Yeah.
But how do you fight? Now you talking about my mama and all my no good sisters and your dog ain't no good. I ain't never liked your dad and something wrong.
Low blow.
Yeah. We need to fight, and then we need to see if we can recover from the fight we just had.
Right. Wow. If you're still gonna be holding a grudge 3 weeks later.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a year is good because right, but a year is good because a year is good because if I'm with you in January, we had a fight in April, and you still bringing it up in November? No, we got to break this.
Yeah,
this deal is off.
Yeah, wow. I wish I could have had this conversation with you. Where was you 15 years ago?
Right.
I was in New Orleans. Listen, we have to invest that time. You are worth the time. One of my favorite passages of scripture as it relates to this is in the Old Testament when it says the Queen of Sheba met Solomon. And one of the strong points of the passage is that she came with her own stuff. And the passage says not only did she come with her own stuff, she spent a whole lot of time with him asking questions.
See.
And
Ask
we
the
don't do
question.
that. We just fall in love. What you in love with? I like the way they walk. What?
Nothing.
What?
What they
Nothing
say?
of
What they say?
substance.
She said they ask questions. She ask questions. They get mad.
Right. And listen, one of the things I tell people all the time when they get married, I'm doing premarital counseling. This is the question I ask. You ready? Tell me about their heart.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I don't want to know what kind of money they make. I'll deal with that later. Tell me about their heart.
All right.
yeah,
Wow.
That's important because when we get into something or something happens,
Gotta
I
get
need
it.
I need to know your heart.
yeah.
Right.
Here's the thing. You ready for this?
Mhm.
Let me clear this up real quick. If you are in a relationship, you are going to get hurt.
Right.
Right.
Your feelings gonna get hurt. Your emotions gonna get hurt. So if your goal is not to be hurt, then you need a goldfish. They don't hurt you. They just swim
Yeah,
around.
because we grew up believing that love is not supposed to hurt, but love does hurt.
Love will hurt.
Sacrifice,
Sometimes if I love you, I hurt you on purpose.
That's the thing. I shouldn't hurt you on purpose.
I'm going to hurt you on purpose. If I love you, there's some things I'm going to say to you on purpose that is going to hurt you. Watch this. But if you know my heart,
Right.
you understand very clearly that even though I hurt you, my heart toward you is right. The
Right.
reason why God loved David is not because of his actions, it was because of his heart. And many of us have trouble in relationships because the only thing we know is the person's actions. We don't know their heart.
You talking.
And we let people go who we've had their heart and keep people who covers their stuff with their behavior.
My Lord, I just felt like on that one right there.
Man, let me tell you, Dr. Troy, I had someone tell me recently, and it stuck with me. I had a woman tell me, I respect you. And it really, I mean, it jarred me for several days. Because to hear a woman tell a man, I respect you, that's huge to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because there's something about you. And it's got we don't connect with people at the level of the heart.
Right.
If you connect to somebody with the level of the heart, there are some behaviors that you can look over. Not all my friends know me. As wonderful as I seem, people think I am. My friends who really know me know I'm moody as they come.
Yeah, me too.
My friends call me on the phone, say hello. I say, yeah, what's going on? Oh, you're in one of them moods. They just hang up. Call me back tomorrow and I'll be fine. What's going on? Not what you doing.
Right.
They ain't holding that.
Yeah, because they know you.
My heart.
Yeah.
How many people in a relationship you're with that you can honestly say you know their heart?
That's
how many people you in an intimate relationship, married to or living with, you know their heart?
So I have a question here. She says, what if there's somebody, you know, they have a good heart, but they're so damaged that their actions sometimes is worse. It's really bad.
Make up your mind what you're willing to put up with.
Like, can I deal with this?
This gonna sound
Can I live with this?
Can I live with you till you better? I might not be willing to do that.
Because I have to understand that there's a risk that you may not get better.
There's a risk that you may not get better. And so watch this. And then the other thing is you gotta figure out if they're aware of their damage. If you're not aware of your damage, then it speaks volumes to me.
See, and that's why it's so detrimental that not just with emotional attachments, but a whole bunch of things that we go through life. I think it's so important that we sit out and talk to therapists and talk to someone who can help us identify, because a lot of people don't know that they have these issues unless you show them.
And then they keep holding on to requirements. They're still
I like
mad at
what
the people they have issues with.
Understand your assignment.
Yeah, that's my therapist again.
Listen,
you may not be assigned to that person.
I got to. Y'all gonna make me throw something up.
Question. I'm glad you said that. So, how do you know you're assigned to someone?
it's a struggle because there's some people that every time you try to let go, there's this push to be with or to help. Watch this. The problem is not necessarily. This is the problem for me. The problem is most of the time is not that you don't know if it's your assignment. The problem is you don't know how to draw boundaries within the context of the assignment. You are my assignment, but there are boundaries that I draw within the context of my assignment.
To draw the boundaries inside the assignment. That's why a lot of people be falling in love with the people they're supposed to be helping, or vice versa. Off.
Right. You know, because you have a need to help. That goes back to your own stuff, some of your own rejection stuff, where they just need me. That's a problem. I don't want nobody that needs me.
Yeah. And then Jada just said that in that time, some people will bring you down in the process of that. But you can't let anyone bring you down.
If you find yourself compromising who you are while you're trying to help somebody quit.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's it.
That's real good right there.
And again, you have to have strict boundaries. You know, that you don't compromise at all. You know, there's some places that you don't. I said to somebody one time about a cousin I had who was on drugs. Now, this is going to sound some mean. I said to him, if you ever steal from me, you never can come back to my house again.
Right. Absolutely.
He stole from me. Now family member trying to tell me he got better. I said, that's beautiful. I'm so happy for him, but he can't come to my house.
But he can't come back. Because I already said
but he don't do that no more, and the Lord has changed. I said, I am so excited about his change. I'm glad the Lord changed it, but he can't come to my house.
Right.
I said to you up front what the consequence of your behavior was.
Right. And you still did it.
And you still did it. And so we don't have boundaries. We don't have consequences. And we assign ourselves to broken people, and we don't know when to let go. When we recognize the person doesn't want to be well, let go. I can't keep hoping and dreaming for you.
My God, today.
Right. Because I need to hope and dream for myself.
Right.
I can't pull your stuff up the hill and pull mine up too.
Right.
Yeah. And then if I stay with you too long, then your crazy is intermingle with my crazy, and I got too much crazy I got to work on myself. I can't be figuring out, is this your crazy or this my crazy?
Right.
I look at it with my children and grandchildren in this house. Don't put my stuff in the laundry with yours. Now I'm trying to figure out, these my socks, or they your socks? Where's my other sock go? Now your sock, my sock in your drawer. Yeah. Now we all confused, and all of us wearing mismatched socks and the wrong socks, half the stuff bleached. Listen.
But why can't we let go? But that's the issue. Some people have the mind to do it, but can't.
Because we have a need to be needed.
A need to be needed.
Some of us are validated in the fact that folk need us.
Well, I need to be needed.
Right, and it comes from your own brokenness and from your own trauma that you have not dealt with. There's some stuff that we have not dealt with. There's some levels of trauma that we don't deal with. It ushers us into the next season of our life dysfunctional.
The next season.
See, one of the biggest lies ever told in church is that the devil wants to kill you. He does not want to kill you. He wants to make you miserable. Because if you are a Christian and you believe in God, if he kills you, you go to heaven. He lost. He doesn't want you. He wants you jacked up while you're here, so you cannot enjoy the things that God given you. You're messed up. You're thrown off. You expect stuff from people that people can't give you. You want stuff from folks that they don't have. I said it to a young woman one day. I said to her, you're going to be all right with your mama who was on crack when you realize that her only assignment was to carry you to the earth realm.
Wow.
Her job was over when she delivered you.
Jesus. Wow.
And now you want her to be this, that, and the other. She don't have
to be mama.
She can't do it.
I said, I'm going to use the terms we use on the street. She's a crackhead.
Okay,
you know what? And you know what? I think a lot of us can be free when we realize when someone else's assignment with us is over.
It's over. Oh my God, Marcus, that's it.
Yeah.
Right. But we don't know that.
My God. Seasons come and seasons go. We try to keep them in the same seasons.
Right.
Yes. Codependency. That's another one. Codependent.
Yeah.
This
We're
is too
relying on
good.
them to make us whole. They're relying on us to make us whole, and both of us broke.
We need to be needed.
Oh my God.
My mind is. My
Dr.
They
mind
Floyd,
is.
they make me happy. I don't want to be in. I don't want to be in charge of making you happy.
Listen, that's
right.
too much power. Oh my God. And I'll be transparent. Oh my God. I had to take accountability for what I was going through. And that's why one of the reasons why we wanted to put this together, because I realized that in this pandemic, I saw me. And before the pandemic, so busy working, taking care of the kids, home,
Mhm.
everything. You're so busy. You don't really have time to focus on the inner things that's going on. So when the pandemic happened, I had time to sit at home. And when you know you're sitting at home, you have time to think. And then all those old stuff that you've been trying to keep under the rug started coming back. And I was sitting in my room like, you've been blaming somebody else for your happiness, and that's not right. Like, you've been giving them so much power, and it's your job to make you happy.
The pandemic helped. This is gonna be so tough. The pandemics helped some couples realize not only don't they love each other, they don't even like each other.
Yes,
Mm.
I've heard that as
That the
well.
reason why
Mm.
I kept working was to get away from you.
That's, oh my
Mm.
gosh.
Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
locked in this house with you. I didn't realize you smack as loud as you smack. I didn't
Yeah.
Yes,
realize you
feel like
walk
it's
as hard as you walk.
Lord.
I didn't realize none of that about you because
That's
I stayed
crazy.
busy. And
And
so
that
what
just
it's
shed
causing
light on
you
the
to
truth.
it's causing you to confront some things that you've ignored. And one
Yes,
of the things that this pandemic have helped many of us to recognize is that silence is loud.
Whew.
very loud.
And we're having
Yes.
trouble being in silence and being with ourselves because then we recognize how much of us we dislike.
Wow.
When you're in the
Wow.
pandemic and you can't go nowhere but to the bathroom and to the kitchen, you start looking in the mirror and recognizing all of your flaws. You just
Yes.
dressing
Yeah.
them up going to work.
Yeah, that is so, it's so true. It's so true.
And
That is
so
so
now you
true.
got to deal with that stuff that
Yes.
you got to deal with that stuff that you've been dealing with.
That you
You know,
haven't been trying to deal with. You've been trying to just keep on going and doing everything, but not confront what needs to be confronted.
of course, my doctor said to me one day, I've been working real hard. I've been taking off weight and working out and with a personal trainer. And my doctor said to me, hurt my feelings. He said, you in good health, but bad shape.
Wow. So you can keep on exercising, you can keep on eating good and eating right and doing all this, but this you saying if the inner stuff ain't taken care of, you still toe up.
You got to get to a trainer. Your blood count, everything is wonderful, but you got to do something else with some of that body fat and all that kind of stuff. He didn't
Wow.
say you're a little bit overweight. He said you're fat. You
You're
got to,
fat.
Mm.
yeah. That hurt my feelings. I said he didn't have to say it that way, but but it's the truth. I had
It's
to
the
work on
truth.
that.
Yeah.
There were
Wow.
some things I was working on and letting some things go awry.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I had
Wow.
to recognize that. So it is in silence, even in this season of silence, that I hear God speak more than anything. The Lord said to me, "I'm be transparent on here." The Lord said to me one
Yes.
day, "I wouldn't listen to nothing you had to say." I said, "Why is that?" He said, "The thing that you use to set people free, your mouth, you have no control over it. You eat the wrong things."
Wow.
I had to
Oh
take
my God.
accountability for that and to start to do some things differently, especially
Mm-hmm.
if
Yes.
I want to live out the second half of this journey. Because life
Yes.
is made of more than one journey. Some of us are stuck in the success of the first one.
My God, today. And those not just the emotional stuff, but the back to the trauma, that's what I was faced with in this pandemic. And you think, and I was sitting here and I'm like, this, and that. No, it's like, Vanessa, you need to go back down to your childhood. Let's start right there. Let's get to the root of why you are the way you are, the why you think the way you think, or why don't let people come too close to you, or why your trust issues or all
Mhm.
that stuff started hitting me like in this pandemic. And I have to sit here and face it like it's time to dig up from under that rug now. It's time to take it up from under the rug and just
Yes,
deal with it.
because some of
Yeah,
this stuff ain't got nothing to do with the person you with. Some of this stuff
at
got to do
all.
with the last 5 people you were with. They snatched
Mm.
they snatched pieces of you and didn't give them back to you.
Jesus.
And so
Mm.
you're still in pain from what was snatched away from you in the last 5 relationships. Watch that. And now the person who's given you their heart got to keep paying for the last 5 trifling people did to you.
Mm.
When you didn't realize you were blessed with them 5 other trifling people to put it in perspective so that when you met somebody that was whole, you would know it. But you still stuck on what has been done to you. It ain't been done to you. It's what you've allowed. People treat you like you allowed them to treat you. People do to you what you allow them to do to you. And we need to we have to begin to learn to put all of our hurts and pain into perspective. Many of us waste pain.
Woo.
Mm.
Woo.
We waste it.
Explain that. Explain that.
You ready? 2 people in the same house, both of them molested for 5 years. One of them opens a shelter for battered women to teach them how to grow stronger and be fine. The other one stay on crack. She wasted pain.
Mm.
2 of you go in the house together, and your mama told you both of y'all will never be nothing. You ain't worth nothing. You're trifling like your daddy was. One of them wind up in jail for stealing. The other one has a PhD in forensic psychology. The one in jail wasted pain.
Wow. Because they made too many excuses. Mama wasn't here. Daddy wasn't here.
Put pain in perspective. At a certain point, you're responsible for your own healing. I know your mama wasn't good to you and your daddy beat you all the time, but you 52. You're responsible right now for your own healing. Take responsibility for it, because guess what? When you move the ball into your court, you can do something with. Your mama dead and gone and you still mad at her.
My God.
Woo, listen to that.
Pain should push you forward, not pull you back.
Not backwards.
It should push you forward and not backward. Fear should be push you forward and not backward. Pain should push you forward and not backward. Trauma should redirect your craziness to a whole place.
Jesus. Oh my God.
This is good stuff.
But we stay stuck.
Yeah.
Because stuck requires nothing of us.
Yes. Right.
Wow. Stuck requires nothing of us.
But to be stuck. So
I got so many things to post today.
Listen.
I said to a young man one time, and then here's the thing: y'all say healing, I say whole. I said to one young man one day who was on heroin, had been on heroin 10 years and got off heroin and was off heroin 5 years. I said to something to him that folk would be angry with me in the therapy world. That I said to him, I said, Joe, you ought to start using heroin again. He said, for what? I said, makes no sense to be as crazy as you are and clean. Still same dope fiend mentality, you just ain't using. And the idea is that some of us then got healed, but we ain't got whole.
So that's what it is.
You got a living, dressed up body and a dead soul.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
You look good on the outside.
You're not home.
You're looking good on the outside. You're making great money. You have your own business, but you jacked up in the inside. You are infected because you refuse to use medicine of the mind to heal your own self. So watch this. So now you're successful at your business. You've made $1 million, but you're a $1 billion woman. But because you're so jacked up inside, you'll settle for the million. You stuck and don't even know it.
Oh, Jesus. Lord.
Wow.
Woo. My God, today.
Because inward work takes you being responsible for your own stuff and recognizing your own crazy and calling it what it is. I was preaching someone one day and I said to the people, I said, y'all pray for Pastor Troy because I got in an argument the other day. I said, and it was a nasty, brutal argument. I said some things to the person that they did not appreciate. I said, and I said it just like I wanted to say it. And I said, and I even cuss sometimes when I talk to them. I said, so I want y'all to pray for me. And I looked at the people. I said, oh, y'all confused. I said, this is the way the argument started. I woke up one morning and looked in my mirror and I said, see you? We ain't playing this no more. I'm about sick of you. You have gotten me in trouble and I've been stuck because of you. I'm talking to myself. And what I'm not going to do from you is I'm not going to even put up from you. I'm going to draw boundaries around me for myself. I do not allow myself to do so and so and so.
Yes.
And some of us have a conversation with ourselves. Somebody said to me one time, people crazy who talk to themselves. I think people who don't talk to themselves crazy.
Yeah.
Unless you've ever gotten a
Right.
good argument with yourself,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
problem. You have to have a real talk with yourself and to be honest with yourself. You ready for this? That your family is dysfunctional.
Mhm.
That ain't normal.
Right.
People ought not act like that.
Right.
They cuss each other out. They fight all the time. Nobody resolves anything. And you have to make up your mind what you don't want to be like, even if you ain't made up your mind what you want to be like yet.
Woo.
Start working with what you don't want to be like. Never mind what you want to be like. Just start working on what you don't want to be like.
Right.
What you
I'm
want to be
not
like
going to
will
do
break
that.
through
I'm
after a
not
while.
going to do that. Yeah.
I'm not going to be like that.
No.
I'm not going to do that. I am going to finish school. It is not appropriate not to do so and so and so. Not for me. Watch it. And I love my family, and that's okay. And I ain't going to run away from them, but I'm going to understand who I am within the context of the culture that I come from.
Yes. That's
Mm.
good.
Mm.
Whew.
Mm.
Man.
And we oftentimes in families recreating each other pathology. We pass a tradition down and teach people how to be stuck.
That's true. That's so
The only thing we've
true.
ever been able to pass down to some people is how to stay stuck.
Jesus. Listen to, oh my gosh. How to be stuck.
How to stay stuck.
And how to stay stuck.
That's the only thing we will to people is how to stay stuck.
Jesus.
We teach our children how to stay stuck. We teach our cousins, our mamas. We teach them how to stay stuck. But what we don't recognize is if one of us get hold, it'll infect the whole family. A little
Say
Wholeness.
Sometimes your family is waiting on you to be well.
Yes. That's the word today.
To give them permission to be free. And we
Jesus.
are unfair to our families to stay broken. It is your assignment to be well.
Woo!
That's why you've gone places that they haven't gone. You've seen things they have not seen. You've had opportunities that they have not had. And if you do it, then somebody else will say to themselves, well, if Vanessa did it,
Jesus,
then I can do it.
Right. That's good. That's good. And I think that's what I try to do for my kids too. I try to take them to places they've never gone. Do things, show them, oh, go do something else. You don't have to repeat the same thing. Let's go out the country. Let's go visit, a restaurant we've never been to. Go some places. Go where the rich folks go.
My son and daughter knew never to say 2 words for me. You know what that is? I don't like that. You don't know if you don't like that. Come on, give me a spoon and come on, taste this.
I don't like that.
You might discover you like it.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Shoot. Oh my God.
You might discover that you got some stuff in you that has been laying dormant, but you won't take no risk and do something else. I say to my grandson, my oldest one, he's a father now too. So at 54, I'm a great grandfather. I say to him, Antoine, I did a job yesterday and made $50 an hour. What that mean? I need to make 55. I said, yeah, what you need to make 50 I already did that. I don't need you to do what I did. I need you to surpass where I am and do more. That's the legacy I passed down to him.
Yeah.
What is the legacy you've passed down to those after you've been set free or coming out of your brokenness? Have you left a trail of breadcrumbs for people that are lost, or does your wholeness come with a narcissistic tendency to just to be yourself?
India said, "If one of us just get whole, that is deep. If one of us just get because if you got a group, a crew, a clique, your circle, and everybody broken, come on, something wrong."
Yeah, we pacify each other's brokenness. One of my favorite stories is from Plato's Republic, the allegory of the cave. And the allegory of the cave talking about men who were chained in a cave, hand and feet and face, and somebody would walk behind them and there was a light behind them and flash toy animals on the ceiling. So what happens, everybody thinks that the toy animals are real. One of them winds up breaking loose and going up into the light and discovering that what they saw in the cave was not real. And so the theological argument becomes, and the philosophical argument becomes, they catch the man and chains him back downstairs, back in the cave where he was. And the question is, what do you think happened to him? There's several things. Other folk would kill him to stay trapped. Or he can be so infectious that he set other people free.
Lord.
What have you done with the new knowledge and the new information that you've gotten that God has blessed you with? Have you gone down back to the cave and stayed silent? Or you fussed and fought until the other people chained to you are free? There are some people that are chained to you that cannot become free unless you become free.
I got to go.
Your children's freedom is based on you getting whole. Are you going to leave a legacy of brokenness?
Lord, today. And you know what the problem is? So many people don't just have brokenness, but they have layers of brokenness, like layers. It's hard to get through all these layers.
Here we go. So what we do and what I do in therapy, you've seen me do it, is called narrative therapy. So in narrative therapy and in the cognitive behavioral therapy, we do what is called the ABCs, and I added D and E. Mine. I'm saying it on here. Somebody gonna take it. I don't care. ABC is we look at what is the activating event. What is the thing that causes this behavior?
So the
root. Where does this behavior come from? It comes from your mama. She was nice, but she lied. She wasn't horrible. She just didn't tell the truth. She didn't want to hurt you. It was one of the only ways she thought she could keep you safe.
Right.
All right. So what is the activating event? What is the behavior around this event? That's B. So what behaviors come as a result of this behavior? What are they? What are the behaviors? What are you doing as a result of this event that's placed this in you? Then we do the C. What are your consequences? You ready? Consequences are not always bad, and we look at them as bad or good. Consequences are something that it fulfills in you.
Yeah.
Like smoking crack. It helps me to get away. Somebody said to me one time, I'm going to stop using crack because I don't like using crack. First of all, you lied. I ain't never done nothing 17 years I ain't like doing.
Listen.
You like crack.
Listen.
All right. So the consequences of is that it takes you away from what is going on. Then what I do in narrative behavior therapy, I do the D. That's called dismantling. I dismantle every narrative you have. And that's when pain comes, because then what you recognize is that you've built other stuff on this narrative that's got to be a lie too.
My God.
So you dismantle the narrative. And the E, even though it doesn't start with an E for me, is now we restore it. We tell the story again. Tell it again with the new information that you have. Tell it now with what you know now. My mama's only job was to carry me here. I thank God for my mama that she did not abort me, because she could have quit her assignment and y'all would have never met me. I thank her for birthing me into the earth realm. Matter of fact, I'm going to find my crackhead mama. I'm going to find what crack house she in and hug her till I hug the hell out of her, because I thank her that she did not abort me. That's a new narrative.
That's a new narrative. Oh my God. I hope that blessed somebody there.
We have to move to a new narrative, because the narrative that some of us have is not a narrative to help us move forward. It's the narrative that perpetuates our stuckness.
Yes.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
God.
stuck because of the story you told yourself.
My God.
And you stuck because you let other people write in your book.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's the chapters out that somebody else wrote. Rewrite them yourself.
Yes. The new narrative. Oh my God. That is a blessing. Oh my God.
You've got to change it. If your narrative is not conducive for you moving forward, you got to change the narrative. You got to dismantle it and challenge it. And my question is, like I said to you in that session, where did you get that from? Who taught you? Who helped you write that story?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody helping. Yes, they did. Where did you get that from?
Yeah.
My God. Oh my God. You don't even know how. Oh my God. That new narrative is, oh my God, that's so freeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We
so
live
freeing.
off a narrative. The reason why I'm a narrative therapist, because I follow the greatest narrative therapist in the world. That's called Jesus. Jesus says very clearly there was a woman who was at a well, who did so and so and so and so, and he sits down with a woman at a well and have a counseling session with her, and he starts by challenging her narrative. Where your husband?
Where your husband?
Right.
Did he do it?
He has a counseling session with a demoniac in a cemetery. What's your name?
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
He helps people to challenge and change their narrative.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. You have to begin to write down what you believe about this, whatever that this is.
Mm-hmm.
And then decide whether you're going to go with this story of what this is, or you're going to change that and go with another narrative that helps you change the form of this.
Yes. Oh my God.
I like cooking. I watched a cooking show one day. I was so mad at a bar one time. They had him making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and he messed with my narrative. He made a deconstructed peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I said, what in the world is that? But watch this. It helped me to look at it. I don't just have to have it between two pieces of bread sitting on the plate. I can do something else with it.
Come on here.
Right.
What have you torn apart, deconstructed, and put back together again? Watch that people will pay you for to make.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
If you find your real story,
gosh,
people will track you down to do it. Find your real story.
That's good. We're gonna have to do a part 5.
My heart.
Y'all check out Pastor Troy on Sundays. Fresh Start Community Church.
Yes. Houston,
man.
That's my daughter, the great therapist, Shanae Collins.
Shanae. Oh my God.
Thank you, Shanae.
Oh my God. I'm so up. I'm so up. I'm not gonna even lie. I'm so up, Pastor Troy. You don't even know you helping me, but from these comments, you helping a lot of people.
Oh my God,
you got to begin to see the thing that you saw as a curse as a blessing. That God thought enough of you to give you a problem.
Wait. Say that again.
God thought enough of you
to give you a problem. True purpose comes when we discover the problem we're supposed to solve. Your purpose is directly connected to you finding what your problem is and how to solve it. When you're walking around in the mist and you're walking around and don't know what to do, it's because it says to me you ain't found your problem. Find your problem. And your problem probably comes from your experiences that you've had.
Jesus. God thought enough of you to give you a problem.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, for the problem.
Talk about problems. He thought enough of me to give
he gives you problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
But watch this. Normally your problems have the same theme.
Okay.
Theme.
Yeah, because you wrote a narrative around the hard part of this. So your problems have the same theme running through them. If you look at your problems, you line them up, you got the same theme running through it. The same thing that elicits your behavior or your expression or your issue or your fear. It's the same theme. So I sit in the chair and help you find themes. So that's why I say to you, so that comes from your abandonment stuff. So when somebody says they don't like you, that's about your mama who said you was never no good. Same thing. So when the woman that you were with didn't appreciate who you were, that's about your abandonment. Same theme. Looks like a different thing, but it's the same theme. And if you find the theme and you work with the theme and you clear up the theme, then you can restore the problem.
And that's how you get healed for real.
So you got to find the problem. Find the problem.
You got to find the problem and the theme in the context of the problem. It's the same thing running through it.
Find the problem.
That's good.
Jesus. Oh my God, today. Lord
This
Jesus.
Many of us
so
have,
good.
a lot of us have had situational depression, and we've gotten it medicated.
Situational depression. Okay, so first, can you break that down? Situation.
You're depressed around situations, around stuff. I don't feel valued. I feel devalued. I don't feel like I have purpose. I have so on. So that's situational depression. You can work that.
Mm.
And
Okay.
that's like somebody comes in my office. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
True story. What brings you in today? Nobody likes me. I said like nobody, like nobody. Like they got 1 billion people on the planet, and you ain't found one that like. No, nobody likes you. I say, sweetie, they like Jeffrey Dahmer, and he cut people up, ate them, and put them in his freezer. So how in the world does nobody like you? Then you discover that it's not nobody, because that's the theme she's wrote. It's about an aunt who she loves, who she think doesn't like her. I can help you with that, but I can't help you with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Real talk.
So watch this. We write it around everything. So now all of her relationships are broken up because of the rejection of the aunt that raised her, who she didn't think like her. Watch this, because the aunt seemed to treat her children better than she treated her. Her mother died and the aunt raised her. I call the aunt in it where she discovers that the narrative she's been riding on is a faulty narrative, because the aunt explains to her, the reason why I'm harder than you than the other people, because I believe in you. My daughters are trifling and ain't worth nothing.
Wow.
And you've been going through life for the last 15, 20 years thinking she don't like you. She really believes in you.
Oh,
so when you start to act like her trifling daughters, your behavior is not acceptable because you're more than that.
Wow.
So it's safe to say that there hasn't been a conversation then, because if they would have had a conversation years ago, just because a lot of times we hold stuff in, and somebody really loves you and you think they don't, but we think that they don't like us, and because we won't have that conversation.
And you haven't had the conversation with them because they don't know you mad.
You don't even know that you're losing sleep every night and they snoring.
I had a true story. I had a best friend. We had a fight. When we were in junior high school, 8th grade. We had a fight, knockout, drag our best friend, and we didn't talk for a week. And a week later, his parents moved. Daddy was in the military, moved out of the country, and I was mad about that fight. And when I see him, I'm gonna pick up where we left off. I was 20-something years old and saw him in the mall. They had moved back to the States. He was walking toward me. And he was with somebody I found out was his wife later. And I'm saying to myself, here he come. Let him say something to me. Because I'm still holding on from 8th grade.
8th grade.
He walks up to me and said, Troy? I said, yeah, it's Troy. He says to his wife, this is my best friend. I lost contact with when my parents moved. And she said, this is the Troy you always talk about? He said, yes. I said, hey, man, how you doing? I felt that big. Because I held on to something.
Yeah.
Ready? And kept replaying the tape in my head.
Wow.
So it can have great meaning. Here's my question. What tape you keep playing in your head that's got great meaning that you need to tape over?
Oh my God. My God.
What's the thing you keep playing in your head over and over again? What's the narrative you keep playing over and over again where it has served its purpose?
Oh, the narrative. Jesus.
I'm done.
Listen,
because your anger, because you think anger is validated, you keep writing that narrative to validate your anger, and you don't even know why you're mad no more. You're just mad. And you're mad at everything and everybody.
Yeah.
And you're especially angry with people who won't line up with your narrative.
Right.
How many good friendships you've lost because you had people that wouldn't line up with your narrative?
What you believe about them? Wow.
Yeah.
Pastor Troy, where can people find you? Where can people connect with you?
Wow.
Is my administrator online? Denise, you online?
I do.
Share that information, please.
Yes.
www Fresh Start Community. No, it's freshstarthouston.org. www.freshstarthouston.org.
I got you.
www.freshstarthouston.org.
Marcus, can we put Pastor Troy's Cash App in the thing too, just in case somebody
Please,
want to bless them, please.
please.
Denisha, you on there?
Denisha normally keeps me together. What is my Cash App? $ Troy Tyrone Johnson. That's my whole name.
$
Troy Tyrone Johnson.
You better call.
Yeah, that's the one. And so you can also see us on Facebook at the Fresh Start Community Church of Houston. There you go, Denisha. Shanae put it up. See, my daughters and sons take care of me because I'll be to give y'all the wrong information. www.freshstarthouston.org. Cash App, Daddy is Shanae. Shanae put that up for me too. $ Troy Tyrone Johnson.
Y'all drop this man, and y'all drop this man some. I'm about to bless you right now.
Drop some love. Pastor Troy, so I have a question. So this year, with this pandemic, it's been so many people who have like passed away and just dealing with grief and mourning. And how are we supposed to deal in this pandemic? A lot of them have not been able to go to the funeral because it's only could be like 10 people, 5 people. They're dealing with a lot of hurt, a lot of grief. I've been getting phone calls, and I'm even at a place where it's like, Lord, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Allow people to be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Experience every emotion that comes around that. Don't take it. Whatever you do, please don't take it from them. You know, and don't try to, sometimes you don't have to say nothing. Sometimes you say to people, that's gotta be hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Allow people to express their pain the way they need to express their pain, because they don't work through it unless they do it.
Yeah.
You have a right to grieve. You have a right to not be all right.
That's
I say to people all the time when they come to me for grief counseling, I just don't know what I'm going to do. I need to get over this. My mama died. When she died last month, you ain't supposed to be all right.
That's too soon.
Right.
We don't, church folk don't allow people the opportunity to not be all right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're quick to say, get over it.
Yeah, pray about it.
Or we do stuff that'll cause a fight. The Lord don't put more on you than you can bear.
Right.
Listen, I said tonight my Bible study. This is what I wrote it down too. I said tonight my Bible study, fear, trust, faith, and hope can go in the same space. And ain't got nothing to do with your belief in God. I can be fearful. I can be low on faith and low on hope, and it ain't got nothing to do with whether I trust God. It has to do with the fact that I'm human walking on terra firma, and there's things that I experience that God understands, but I don't. And I have a right to be in pain. Watch this. And I had a friend who was dying one time, and somebody called me and said to me, "You need to come see about Horace." I said, "For what?" "Because Horace mad at God." I said, "Good. Call me when he ain't talking to him. That's when I'm worried."
Wow.
He got a right to be mad with a sick body that won't do what it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let him be mad. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we don't allow people to experience what they experience because it makes us uncomfortable. We have to learn, if we're going to walk with people, how to not fill the space of silence in with noise.
Wow.
Let it be quiet.
Yeah.
Sit with them and learn the ministry of shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be there.
I don't even know what you feel like. That's got to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember somebody called me, as crazy as it sounds, told me that their dog died. They were tore up. I said, "Man, you all right?" I know what pets mean to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like another family member.
And what I look like saying, "Your dog?" No. "Man, you all right? You doing all right?" "No, I ain't doing good." That was their companion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we allow people to experience that and be able to say it to somebody. Find you somebody to talk to who ain't going to judge you.
Right. Tell your business.
You ready for this? Here's going to be the hard
one. Go ahead.
Find somebody to talk to whose primary goal is not to fix you.
Yes.
But know how to hear you.
Yes.
Just know how to hear you. Just know how to bear with you, just to hear you struggle and hear you go through and hear you holler and hear you roll on the floor. I told somebody when my mama died, I said, now I might want to get on the highway and roll down the highway on my stomach on 59. Please do not get me up. Your job is to direct traffic around me.
Right. Right.
Do not get me up.
Stop telling me to get up.
It's going to be a fight if you try to get me up.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Direct
call
the
my
traffic
friend,
around me.
I call my
That's
friend and mentor, Dr. Betty Brown, who's a psychologist out of New Orleans. I called her one time when she was going through some grief. I say, Dr. Betty Boo, how you doing? She said, my leg's under me. That's all I can tell you. I said, all right, you're standing up. I'm good. I'll stand with you if you want me to. When you won't sit, I'll sit. You want to lay down, I'll lay down.
What did Aaron say? What did Aaron say, Marcus?
The pet won't judge.
The pet won't judge you?
Yeah, that's why you're crying for the pet. The pet didn't judge you. That pet liked you whatever you did.
Oh, that's good, Aaron. The pet won't judge you.
And so, so allow people to go through their expression of grief, whatever that is. Yeah. And I tell people all the time too in grief, you know you're never gonna get over this, do you? You're gonna work.
I'm glad you said that, because I was gonna ask, is there a time limit? Like years, like my mom passed away in a car accident when I was 17 years old. So like for me to be now, here I am at this age, still feeling something, is that unhealthy?
That's normal. Listen, that's normal. Some days you're going to be so wonderful. You're going to be doing good. You're going to be all right. And then you go to Walmart and somebody walk through the door that's got their hair cut like your mama used to have her. You fall out crying. I'll do like I was doing one day after my mom died. I walked through the snow. I'm doing fine. It was a couple of years later, and the woman at the register just waved at me. I said, "Now that woman just looked like my mom." I went outside the car and cried. I cried a little while. Then got one shot for my groceries.
Right.
So that doesn't mean that because I always assume that you're not healed from something if you're still crying about it. So that's not true. If you're still crying about it,
crying purges you. We take in us the spirit of our people. So you carry your mother with you.
So here goes my question. Those people that you were talking about earlier, those past relationships where when they left, they took a piece of you. Could that be the same way for people who loved ones who have passed away? Like they took a piece of you? Because some people
different story. In a living situation, you need to take back the pieces you gave away. You grieve for it, but you need to take the pieces back.
Yeah.
Yeah. They kept them on lock. You need to remove them.
Wow.
And you remove them by changing your perspective and your narrative. Yeah, but in the point of your mother and the point of grief like that, that's totally different. You can't get them back. So you always sometimes are with the what ifs. Boy, if my mom was here right now, she'd be proud of me. Boy, if my mom was so and so, yeah.
Wow.
The year after my mama died, I had somebody laugh, and I put on Facebook, me and my mama were identical. I'm working on my 6th degree. My mama had 5. We were just alike. And I put on Facebook the year after my mama died, I said, I'll be doggone, I ain't got nobody to fight with. This ain't fair.
Wow.
We could fight, boy, we could fight, and nobody would get in our fights. I got preaching from my mama. I got therapy from my mama. I got all of this from my mama that I learned to do therapy-wise and preaching-wise and stuff like that from my mama.
Yeah.
So
you got a lot.
Even the years she's been gone, there are times I grieve.
Got it. Okay. I'm glad you said that, because some days I'll be breaking down. I'm like, oh girl, something wrong with you. You need help.
But then you learn ways to grieve, like in my yard now. My grandchildren, my son and daughter, they laugh at me in my yard now. I build above ground planters because my mama loved planting vegetables. So in my yard, I plant in memory of my mama collard greens and cabbage and all that stuff in the yard.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And then to those who are like dealing with like mental health, like how can we get help?
Drop your pride and go get help. If you had your blood pressure was 210 over 150, you'd go to a doctor.
Right.
If you broke your leg, you wouldn't pray your leg well, you'd go to a doctor.
And
all this, you should go to a doctor.
How could we encourage those that we know that is dealing with mental health? Like, you've tried to talk to them, you tried to get them help, you tried to get them to see a psychiatrist and everything, but it's just still.
Just ask. Just keep asking.
Mm.
You know, mental illness sometimes is embarrassing to some people. I ought to be right.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Our community is such a stigma.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, "Am I crazy?" I said, "Yes, you're crazy, like the rest of us."
Right. We
that's,
all
Yeah.
crazy.
that's an easy question to answer. You crazy?
Yeah.
I'm crazy. All of us crazy at some level.
Everybody got something going on, and it's so sad that it's frowned upon, especially in the Black community, where you feel like you can't talk
Well,
to them.
we have a history of not trusting the medical profession because they've done us so bad.
Mhm. So we think we can just do it by ourselves.
That's why there are more Black therapists and stuff, like my daughter Shanae, who's on
Mhm.
here, and myself, and my daughter Erica at the church. I got a church full of therapists that we come into the field because
Mhm.
people tend to trust us different.
Yes.
And then we
Yes.
have a different perspective. I love my European cohorts, but I have to say some things to them that are a little bit different. Like we had
Right.
one young woman in therapy one time at the site I was working with, and the girl didn't understand. I mean, maybe she need medicine. I said, she don't need medicine.
Right.
She's she's Pentecostal. She's hearing voices. She's supposed to.
Yeah. Right.
What? She's
That's
supposed
why.
to.
That's why I always, for me, I always said if I wanted to speak to a therapist, first of all, I want him to be degreed up, he know his stuff, but I also want him to know the Lord. Because sometimes they have you in there, you speaking in Buddhism and everything, you're
Yeah.
chatting, and you just don't know what you're getting. So for me, I've always feel comfortable making sure they still know the Lord. So I know they won't, have me doing something
Or
I
at
shouldn't be
least
doing.
understand spirituality.
Aaron said some are in denial and don't know they have mental illness.
Yeah,
Real
many
talk.
are.
Yeah,
They've
I
been
believe
functioning
that.
like that for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
And it
so
comes
their
from.
behavior is normal. They
Yeah.
wonder what's wrong with the rest of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Real
been
talk.
it's a part of
And
them now.
then there are those people like that. Sometimes you just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you decide to love them, understand that their behavior is directly connected to their mental disease and defect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
My
Lord
Uncle Darcy,
Jesus.
my Uncle Darcy had PTSD. I loved him to death. But he was going to roll on the ground and do all the kind of stuff. When he got to rolling, I fed him. Yeah, all right.
Oh
Come
my
on.
God. Pastor Troy, you have blessed us on tonight.
Man, for real.
It's
My
been my
mind is
blessing.
blown. My mind is blown. Let me tell y'all, I sat in his chair for about 20 minutes and I was done. I was done. I was done. I didn't wear no lashes that night on purpose. I was done. Y'all get in contact with Pastor Troy, Dr.
Yes.
Troy. Listen, we in the pandemic. Y'all ain't got nowhere to go. Call him on Zoom, okay? Figure it out. Get some help. And I'm serious. When I say heal for real, I believe that we need to be really healed for real. It's no longer, who are we fronting in front of? Why are we still walking around with masks? Why are we still walking around hurt and broken when we don't have to be, when we have someone here to help and talk us through what we're going through? We don't have to walk around like that. And I just don't believe that's God's will for your life. So
No, it's not.
it's not. I believe that he wants us whole, not just heal, but whole. Heal
Right.
for real, but whole for real. You
Yeah.
know? So
That's it.
I just want to thank you, Dr. Troy, Pastor
Thank
Troy.
you.
My blessing.
I love you, and I'll be calling you too.
No problem. You know you got my number. It's an honor.
Yes.
Y'all be a blessing to Pastor Troy. His Cash App is in the comments right there.
Yes, get him. Y'all show him some love. And thank you,
Yes.
Marcus, tonight, too. Thank you for
Oh,
all your
yeah.
help as well, being my co-host
Absolutely.
tonight. I hope somebody was blessed tonight. I mean, it was so much information, from emotional attachments to, just those emotional attachments are no joke,
Yeah.
And so, like he said, you don't have to break it off, but you do need to set some healthy boundaries for yourself. So it was so much information. You can go back and review this video and write some notes down. It was so much notes to take tonight. Pastor Troy, thank you for taking out your time, even after Bible study, to helping us. And don't listen, we're going to have you on here again.
I'd be honored. You know, I'd be honored. And y'all keep doing what you're doing, creating a platform to be able to talk about stuff like this, because we don't often do it.
Right.
That's true.
Yes, absolutely. It is. No, we need a lot of people really needed this, and a lot of people was hitting me up like we need it. Like we need to talk. We want to hear. Some people just don't know what to do. They want to get it done, but they don't know how to do it. So you gave us so much information tonight to help us know what to do and get it done.
My counseling business is called Sevewe, which is a Xhosa word, and what it means is we've been heard. Some just need to be heard.
Yes, because we got a story, and a lot of us has buried our stories.
Yeah.
We've buried our stories.
And there's healing in your story.
That's real.
Oh my God! So changing our narratives and that change. That's gonna set somebody free. Changing our narrative, the stories that we even made up in our own heads about our lives. That was powerful. Oh my God! I'm gonna read. Oh, thank you. Pastor Tyrone. Oh, you really helped me in all the categories. Oh, thank you so much, Cuddles. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You blessed a lot of people, Pastor Troy. Oh my God. Even my cousin here.
That's my assignment.
Oh my God. We are so blessed. And yeah, we're gonna be Marcus, we're gonna be calling Dr. Troy again, and we're gonna get on here and we're gonna help some people. We wanna come out this pandemic whole.
Yeah. For real.
God has given us so much time to get it right and to get ourselves together. And not be so focused on life and running and everywhere, or taking care of everybody else, but not taking care of us.
That's right.
It's good. We can look it on the outside. If we toe up on the inside, it's in vain. So, yep. So we're going to get off of here tonight. Again, thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Dr. Troy. Thank y'all for it was a blessing tonight. It was a blessing. I was helped, and I hope somebody out there was blessed as well. We're going to end this line tonight, and we're going to meditate. And we're full. We're full. That's the word. We're full.
That's right.
We're full. We're going to end this tonight. We thank you guys for tuning in with us. We did hope you were really blessed, and we're going to see you next time. Okay. And thank you, Dr. Troy. Love you. Right. See you guys later. Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
All righty. Y'all have a good one.